Who said the following? Premiums will drop, and the average family will see premiums go down by $2,500 a year in 2014.
President Obama.
Is that a lie?
Yes.
Is there a single solitary American? If we asked this intrepid staff to go hunt down an American citizen, would we find an average family whose premiums have gone down in the last 11 years by $2,500 a year? Never have we enriched companies the way that Obamacare has enriched healthcare insurance companies at the cost to the American people. And it's a disgrace. Why don't we do all these things? Instead, what we do is we do performative outrage and managed failure of votes that we go on and say all kinds of nonsense, knowing there's no chance your bill's passing tomorrow. But do you want it to pass? Or do you just want to have a political issue so you can continue to get reelected? It's disgusting what happens in this town.
Senator Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I thought maybe we could use some props so we can keep the conversation on track. So imagine we're going to have this conversation first. This conversation to the ranking member, which I think is what you're voting on tomorrow, is a very narrow conversation. This is about the Biden Obamacare COVID bonus subsidies. That's the vote tomorrow, correct? We're not voting on Obamacare writ large. We're voting on strictly.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, well, I just want to make sure we're all on the same
I
page.
assume through the chairman.
Okay, through the chairman, yes. Okay. Yes?
This is
That's what we're
PSI.
voting on? I just want to make, because it could be very
The vote
confusing when we talk
tomorrow
about.
is on extending the health care tax credit that were adopted in the COVID era.
Yep.
A good idea. I wish we hadn't put a limit on it.
All
in
right,
terms of
so
time.
just to be clear, so we're talking about this. I just want to make sure we level set for everybody here, because look, I'm about solving problems. I'm not going to be somebody who says that we should let people, Americans especially, suffer because of incompetence of politicians. So we're going to talk about just these subsidies, okay? Nothing else, no other conversation. So, Mr. Bragdon, I ask you a question. Are veterans' health care costs going to go down whether we do this or not?
No.
So if you're a veteran and your copay is going up, or your deductible is going up, or your quality of service is going down, are you affected by this?
Not at all.
All right, if you're a union worker, makes great Jeeps in Toledo, Ohio, are you affected by this?
No.
So if your union health plan goes up 15, 20%, your copay goes up, your deductible goes up, if we do something about this, does that help that union worker in Toledo, Ohio?
No.
How about people who used to work for me in my private companies? I started as a small business owner too, Mr. Jacobs. It's really hard. It's really hard. If you want to do something in this world that's tough, start a small business. And if I, in my case, went out and through a dealer association got health care for my employees, and those premiums, are they affected by this resolution of this issue?
No.
If I'm on Medicare, am I affected by this?
No.
If I'm in Mr. Steely's case with Luke on Medicaid, is he affected by this?
No.
So you're talking about a very narrow set of Americans that are affected by this. And that's the disappointing part, is that the only issue that Democrats want to fix is for probably something that affects 5 or 6 or 7% of Americans. Why don't we, and I asked this to my Democrat colleague, because the rest of the colleagues are not here, why wouldn't we fix it for all Americans? Americans deserve a government that fights for them every single day to deliver them affordable health care, but we're only talking about a very narrow group of incentives. So now let's shift the conversation over here. How do we get affordable health care? Mr. White, who said the following? Premiums will drop, and the average family will see premiums go down by $2,500 a year in 2014.
President Obama.
Is that a lie?
Yes.
Is there a single solitary American? If we asked this intrepid staff to go hunt down an American citizen, would we find an average family whose premiums have gone down in the last 11 years by $2,500 a year?
I can't think of a case, not in the individual market,
It'd be
no.
impossible. Any market, by the way.
Probably any market.
Right, so the ranking member mentioned a family making $66,000 a year. There's no scenario on earth in which they saved $2,500 a year.
No.
Correct? Okay, so that's good. You said something that was interesting, Mr. White. You said that Obamacare has been fantastic for health insurance companies. I want to quantify that. Would it surprise you to know that the stock price of United Healthcare in 2015 was $115 a share, and last year it closed at a record high of $611 a share?
Not at all.
So Jacobs, that's pretty good for a business guy, right? I mean, 5 times the value of your business. Let me put that in further numbers. United Healthcare used to be a $108 billion enterprise back in 2015. That's a big company, $100+ billion. Would it surprise you that it's almost a $600 billion company?
Not at all.
Now, those numbers are so outrageously high, it doesn't mean anything. Let me just quantify that for people watching. Ford Motor Company is about a $50 billion company. It's 12 times the size of Ford Motor Company. In fact, it's pretty much every car company with Tesla excluded combined is United Healthcare in 10 years because of Obamacare. Never have we enriched companies the way that Obamacare has enriched healthcare insurance companies at the cost to the American people. And it's a disgrace. So let's go through solutions. Mr. White, are people who enter this country illegally eligible for Medicare, Medicaid, or the Obamacare exchange? They're not, right? They're not eligible. Right? They can't go get an Obamacare premium. They can't get a Medicare card, but they can go into our hospitals and get treated at no charge, correct?
Correct.
And when you own a business and you give part of your services for free, is it really free or do you really charge everybody else?
It gets charged to everyone else.
So 10, 12, 15 million people who enter this country illegally, presumably with a lot less healthy than American citizens, would have massively increased the cost of our health care. Is that true?
By billions and billions of dollars.
Big transfer payment from American citizens to non-Americans. Would transparency make a difference? If you came into one of my dealerships and I didn't tell you what the price of the car was until 60 days after you took delivery, would you do that deal?
No, sir.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay. Well, do you think transparency matters? I mean, knowing, by the way, how much an MRI is. In fact, you're a pretty good expert, you and Mr. Bragdon. How much is I'm going to play pickleball tomorrow morning, and there's a pretty good odds that I could hurt my knee. I hope not. What would it cost me to get an MRI?
So I just paid cash for an MRI last year in Naples, Florida, and it was about $230.
And if I went to my health care plan that I get from the United States Senate, my deductible, I think, is like 12 grand. What would I pay for that MRI at the hospital? I'd pay the full boat and pay my deductible, right? Which would be how much?
I suspect that they would have negotiated a really good deal for you, probably like $900 or $1,200.
So I'd pay $1,200. I could have gotten it for $300. I pay it. Now, when will I know? Like I walk in and they say, hey, I'm sorry about your knee. It's going to be $1,200.
Well, they'll ask for your insurance card first, and then that will dictate your price. And then, as you mentioned, you'll get a letter in the mail after the fact telling you what you owe after you've had the service. Yeah, exactly. I actually did that in my dental plan. I had a root canal, which, by the way, don't recommend you do that as a elective surgery. And I got a bill for $4,600. I almost fell off my chair. Because, again, they billed the insurance company declined it. So for Mr. Jacobs and Mr. Lehman, would association health plans work? Like, would you love to be able to go to Costco or Amazon or Walmart and be able to buy competitive health care where you can empower yourself and your employees and your businesses to shop? Would that make a difference? Would that save money? Yes or no, real quick, because I'm out of time. I'm going to get the
30% premium reduction.
So why don't we do that? Why don't we do association health plans? Solve this problem for everybody. How about PBM reforms? Should we do that? Why don't we do that? Let's make that happen. Let's not shut down the government over this. Let's work together to solve the entire problem. Let's do that. Let's get together. Let's show the American people we're able to govern. Can you imagine if tomorrow morning the American people woke up and go, my God, the leaders in Washington, D.C. are able to govern and solve our problems? Would having most favored nation status for drugs lower the cost of health care, yes or no?
Yes, in fact,
Cross-state shopping, would that help? Reducing administrative costs, would that help? Tort reform, would that help? Putting money in health savings accounts? Why don't we do all these things? Instead, what we do is we do performative outrage and managed failure of votes that we go on and say all kinds of nonsense, knowing there's no chance your bill's passing tomorrow. But do you want it to pass? Or do you just want to have a political issue so you can continue to get reelected? It's disgusting what happens in this town. It's why I ran for office. And I hope we could find it in our hearts to actually solve this problem for the American people. But the lack of seriousness, as displayed by the fact that you called a hearing and not one Democrat other than the ranking member is even here to listen to this testimony. Mr. Jacobs, Mr. Lehman, I empathize with you. I'm a small business owner. Let's solve this problem. Let's make that happen.